Hey, this is KWTRH, and we're back with another commentary. Today's victim goes under the username of KWTRH, or Keith Wickman the Robot Hedgehog, a Sonic recaller who has decided that he's going to take the time to make a commentary on Guptil, a YouTuber who hasn't been relevant for over 2 years now. Yeah, this is going to be fun. So, that said, let us begin.
Hello, this is Keyboard and Robot Hedgehog with another commentary. Say, do you like Star Sonic fanboys, and saber pussies? Today's commentary is on Guptil 89.
Wait, why Guptil? He hasn't been relevant for 2 years now.
Guptil 89 is a person that not like new things. Like all the Stellar Charts that I know, and I know Ben the Looney, because I'm not gonna do a rant or a commentary on him. For this commentary, I'm not gonna cuss. So, if you want my cussing, just look up some other commentaries that I do. Without further ado, let's get started.
Blockbuster, an organization once known for having nationwide rental stores, places where people could walk around and browse what kind of movies and games they had. It was something that was homey and friendly. Video arcades, places where citizens could waltz around and try out what game cabinets were available and use a claw machine filled with toys. Paper letters, messages that were sent back and forth all the time between friends and family. And finally, film photography, a circumstance that involved taking pictures with a camera and then bringing the rolls of film to a photosmith to develop. These 4 things were really good to abide by. They involved a lot of traveling, but were simple nonetheless. Until all that changed. These 4 elements that used to be parts of life have been replaced almost entirely by these products.
That's what we need. A Stelchatard who complains about today's gonna suck, isn't it? This video is gonna suck, but first of all, Guptil, you're complaining about the logos, and now you're complaining about the things today? Well, because it's called New Age, since old can be replaced by new. Just look it up for yourself, bro.
Okay, all you did right there was summarize what Guptil is talking about in this video. What Guptil is complaining about is the advancement of technology, failing to realize that this has been happening for a long time. Games have since evolved from the board games. Once upon a time, if you wanted to play a game, you brought out a board with little pieces, a dice and all that, or hey, you went outside. So really, it's nothing new.
I really don't want to sound preachy and make it sound like I am repeating what I already thought about the current World Wide Web. But when something you feel is important comes along, you need to speak. Here's the deal. The one major problem about the internet that I didn't think to mention before is that in most cases, it is killing physical socialization, something we humans were meant to do daily. With Blockbuster LLC closing every single rental store and moving everything they do to cyberspace, online gaming causing so many video arcades to go out of business, and so on, it seems to me that laziness has reached a whole new level. The way I see it, it seems to me that hundreds of people have forgotten the one simple fact that any piece of technology has the potential to stop working. And
I get Till. Now let's talk about you. It's renting time. You did a top 10 most hottest female Sonic characters of all time. Too, you are a nostalgia freak who loves the old things, and you complain about the logos.
Neither of which are relevant at this point in time.
There, you do not like cussing and person. Well, it's called tough luck. Because cursing is a new thing for teenagers now.
Thing from teenagers. Cursing has been around since the dawn of time. This is nothing new. This isn't some new fad introduced by the current generation of children. This has been around forever. It's since evolved to what we have now, but it's been around.
And finally, you do not like the internet because of the four elements you explain. How about fire, water, earth, and wind? These are the most important elements of all time. Without these elements, we can all die.
He doesn't hate it for four elements, he hates it for one. If you were paying attention, you would know this. He hates the internet because it's quote unquote killing physical socialization. To which I have to respond, no. No, it's not. It's actually bringing more people together in ways that they could not have before. Also, while we're on the subject, why am I doing your commentary for you? Also, because this guy is just letting the video playing, we're going to be skipping a little bit.
The only people I can think of who would need something as expensive as an iPhone are important people, like a leader of a country or a fireman or policeman.
First up, Galar, important people don't need phones.
What?
They only use radios
What?
because radios are the most important in their lives.
What?
They what tell the people what they should do.
What the hell are you even talking about? World leaders have friends and families too, you know. They're not going to want to have to use a radio to contact them. They're going to use a phone because it's more convenient that way. Unless you're trying to tell multiple people the same thing, chances are you're going to be using a phone over a radio.
And phones can be really important because sometimes people decide to go to the hospital or a funeral or somewhere they should go to meet up there and dress nicely.
Seriously, what the flying fuck are you even saying? Guptail said straight up that there are going to be points and times in which you're going to need a cell phone on your person. For reasons like a funeral, like a trip to the hospital. You're just reiterating what he stated.
Online gaming is, of course, another parasite of physical socialization. Like I mentioned earlier, it's causing every single arcade in the world, except in Japan, to lose profit and close. It isn't just home console ports of arcade games. Do arcades need the World Wide Web to function? Nope. Even though you have to pay to use a game cabinet, Xbox Live does the same thing in the web-enabled world. That means you're losing a lot of cash playing a shooter game all day long, and you're not getting out as much as you should. While the PlayStation Network and Nintendo Wii's Matrix offer free service, the fact of the matter still stands. The information superhighway can suddenly go down out of the blue, and it can take days or even weeks to be restored. If you've seen my second technology rant, it's especially bad if hackers are involved. There's even people whose internet goes down all the time. And sure, the plan for a cyberspace blackout on March 31st was denied, yet there will always be a chance of a blackout because, once again, technology isn't perfect.
I have to agree with you, Guptail. Not all electricity is not that perfect. For once, Guptail, I agree with you. Not all electronics don't work in power damage. Because when it does, it blacks out all the electricity. So you don't have no power, no electronics. So, yeah.
Despite the fact that that wasn't even the point he was trying to make. Guptail was trying to explain about how online gaming's killed the arcade cabinet, but in reality, the arcades were already on their way out the door when online gaming became popular. You want to know what killed arcade cabinets? Console machines. Because they were less expensive than sitting at an arcade cabinet stuffing quarters into the machine until you finish the game. I really hate having to do your commentary for you. Now why don't we tackle part 2 of his commentary?
There isn't much to say about film photography and paper letters. Digital cameras and email have almost entirely replaced these two things. They're still around, but quite rare. Practically, the only people I know who write paper letters are the poor, the Amish, prisoners, and military people away from home.
How about the family that works into other places for the government or somewhere else?
Okay, I have no idea what you just said there, so I'm just gonna smile and nod.
And film photography, well, only about 4% of the world would like to have physical developed photos. Still, a film photo has better quality than a digital image. I would prefer to have a film photo on my wall over a pixelated and fugitively inked one. I myself am interested in film photography, but it won't be easy at all to find a film camera since you'll only be able to find one on eBay, at a flea market, a yard sale, or a thrift store. And for most of the world, photosmiths are extinct. The only people who really develop film these days are X-ray technicians and dentists.
Stop forcing your opinions on us. We like the newer stuff these days. Without that, our pictures will be crapped on. Do you want that, or do you want a perfect photo?
Okay, I'm going to take a stab in the dark here and say that you're saying the newer pictures are better than the old pictures. Also, some people like older technology just as a sort of preference. Just because you like the newer stuff doesn't mean that others don't.
But even book reading is getting a little ruined too with a device called the iPad, a device that requires a battery to run, and you can use it to go online and download a book. I don't see such a big deal about heading to your local library or Barnes & Noble and picking out a physical book that requires no electricity and can last for eternity.
You can always charge the iPod. You can do that since if it's have a low battery, you can always charge it.
Actually, I'm going to partially agree with Guptail on this one. Not so much in the battery aspect, because yeah, you're right, you can always charge with the thing, but if you break the iPad or the Kindle or the Nook or whatever you're using, you lose literally all of your books on that unit until you can get around to replacing it. And that's going to cost you a pretty $100 out of your pocket. Whereas if you ruin one book, maybe it gets wet or something, you have to drop 20, maybe $30.
And it's not also for book reading. It gives out people's information on YouTubers that are good or bad. Start off with
Wow,
you,
look how relevant
Guttel,
this is.
89.
Skipping.
Let's look up. Guttel, here's your ranking. 2 out of 7. Here's an idea, Guttel 89. Just make some Sonic video game reviews and fan fiction. That's it. The two things that I said.
And because all he does is repeat that phrase over and over again through the remainder of this video, we are going to be cutting that out. Keith Wickman, there are a couple of things that you need to learn before you go on making more commentaries. 1. When you go to commentate on someone, make sure that they're still relevant. Guptail hasn't been online for who knows how long, and the video that you're commentating on is 2 years old. 2. When you're going to suggest something for the YouTuber to do, please stay away from things that you personally like. Other people may not like Sonic game reviews or Sonic fanfics. Really? Sonic fanfics? That's what you're going to suggest that he does? And finally, please state your points in a clear and concise manner. I had to decipher most of what you said. Overall, I thought this was a very shoddy commentary, and unfortunately, if this is the content that you're going to be producing, then I think it's time for you to retire. Especially since you clearly have editing skills, but you refuse to use them! Anyways, this is Terrafy, signing off.